Looking back to the early days of Republican Rome around 400 BC, it's challenging to envision how this society would evolve into one of the world's most formidable empires. At that time, Rome was merely one of several city-states inhabited by the Latin people in what is now central Italy. In many aspects, Rome resembled the fragmented civilization of the Greeks, with the Latin peoples engaging in internal conflicts akin to those among the Greeks. Military tactics, such as the use of hoplites and phalanx formations, mirrored those employed by the Greeks in battles. As the largest and most dominant city-state among the Latins, Rome could be likened to the Latin equivalent of Athens, the prominent Greek polis. So, how did a society primarily focused on agriculture and frequently embroiled in internal disputes managed to establish one of history's grandest and most influential empires? The transition from the Roman Republic to the Roman Empire occurred in 27 BCE when Augustus, Julius Caesar's adopted son, assumed power in Rome. Augustus implemented an autocratic system of governance where he held absolute authority and made pivotal decisions. Despite being recognized as Rome's first emperor, neither Augustus nor his successors adopted the titles of king or emperor. Instead, they opted for titles like princeps or primus inter pares. This choice of nomenclature aimed to maintain the semblance of limited authority, a principle that held significance during the Republican era. The reforms instituted by Augustus and his successors left a profound and enduring imprint on the internal political and economic frameworks of Rome. The term Pax Romana, meaning Roman peace, commonly denotes the era spanning from 27 BCE to 180 CE, characterized by relative stability in Roman governance and reduced instances of warfare. While occasional conflicts arose, such as provincial uprisings and frontier skirmishes, they paled in comparison to the pervasive civil wars of the preceding century. With the emperors and senate assuming control over most electoral processes, the number of contested political offices dwindled. Augustus, who ascended to power following victory in a civil conflict, effectively quelled a succession of internal disturbances. This internal tranquility exerted a favorable influence on foreign relations. Moreover, the enduring political and social structures established by Augustus facilitated sustained stability for centuries, enabling Rome to engage in regular trade with distant regions like India and China. Consequently, Rome's material prosperity burgeoned through peaceful avenues. Augustus opted for the title princeps rather than emperor for strategic reasons. The term princeps conveyed a sense of primacy and leadership without the overt connotations of monarchy associated with emperor. This subtle choice helped Augustus maintain the facade of continuity with the Roman Republic while consolidating significant power in his hands. Several factors contributed to the stability of the Roman Empire compared to the preceding Roman Republic. Imperial institutions played a crucial role in this stability. Augustus and his successors meticulously preserved the outward appearance of the Republic while wielding substantial authority in practice. Unlike the Republic, where power was dispersed among numerous officials with limited terms, the imperial system centralized power in the hands of the emperor. Augustus adeptly appropriated various official titles and their corresponding powers while upholding the notion of separate offices, albeit under his control. For instance, he assumed roles like Pontifex Maximus and Censor, but refrained from abolishing these offices outright, thereby maintaining the illusion of continuity with the Republic. Augustus consolidated significant power by asserting control over the military, a pivotal aspect of his newfound authority. In the Roman Republic, elected consuls assumed military command during their year-long tenures. Despite occasional deviations from this norm, particularly evident during the civil strife of the 1st century BCE, the Romans upheld the principle that military leadership was inherently temporary. Rather than overtly seizing military authority, Augustus employed a shrewd tactic. He positioned himself as the de facto governor of the most volatile Roman provinces, where the majority of the legions were stationed. This strategic maneuver afforded Augustus command over the army while maintaining the illusion of benevolence towards the Roman populace. Navigating the governance of such a vast territorial expanse presented numerous challenges for an emperor. Administrative complexities, logistical hurdles, and communication limitations posed formidable obstacles to effective governance. Ensuring uniform enforcement of laws, managing diverse cultures and languages, and addressing regional grievances demanded astute leadership and robust administrative frameworks. Moreover, maintaining stability across far-flung provinces required diligent oversight and swift responses to emerging threats or unrest. The emperor's ability to delegate authority, establish efficient communication networks, and foster local governance structures played a crucial role in managing the sprawling Roman Empire. How do you think the Romans balanced central authority with local control in such a vast empire? During the empire, Roman currency served not only as a means of economic transaction, but also as a potent political tool. This practice of using coins for political purposes originated with Julius Caesar, Augustus's adoptive father, who became the first Roman to feature his own likeness on coins. Prior to Caesar, only deceased Romans or deities were depicted on currency. Augustus continued this tradition, emphasizing the connection between economic authority and the emperor by portraying his portrait on coins. This practice also played a pivotal role in shaping the public perception of the emperor among the Roman populace. Moreover, emperors utilized imagery on coins to promote other family members, political allies, and particularly their chosen successors. For instance, Roman coins often depicted the emperor adorned with a laurel wreath, symbolizing honor and victory, while the inscription Div Vies Ivlives suggested a divine association. In the absence of modern communication mediums like photography or television, Roman emperors leveraged currency as a means to disseminate specific messages about themselves and their regime. Coins circulated widely throughout the empire, allowing emperors to reach a broad audience and perpetuate their desired image and propaganda. Thus, by controlling the imagery and inscriptions on currency, emperors could effectively influence public opinion and reinforce their authority across vast territories. The technology employed by the Romans showed a notable degree of continuity from the Republic to the Empire. Nevertheless, Augustus introduced significant changes to the administration of public infrastructure such as roads, aqueducts, and sewers. One key modification involved the establishment of permanent positions responsible for supervising the construction and upkeep of these essential projects. This initiative aimed to enhance accountability within the system, ensuring more efficient management of public works. Additionally, by institutionalizing these roles, Augustus created opportunities to reward his loyalists with prestigious and stable employment positions, thereby solidifying their support for his regime. Augustus played a pivotal role in initiating and promoting the construction of various civic structures, including temples, a new forum, bathhouses, and theaters. Additionally, he oversaw the creation of notable landmarks such as a monumental arch and the renowned Ara Pacis, known as the Altar of Augustan Peace. These endeavors not only bolstered Augustus's authority, but also served practical objectives, like enhancing the aesthetic appeal of the city and mitigating fire risks. By promoting the construction of stone buildings, which were less susceptible to fires, a prevalent hazard in Roman history. Augustus aimed to safeguard property and improve urban resilience. How did these projects impact the communities they were built in? In line with the precedent set by affluent Romans of his time, Augustus resided in a conventional Roman dwelling situated on the Palatine Hill in Rome. This choice contributed to the perception that he was merely another prosperous citizen, rather than an autocratic ruler. Subsequent emperors followed suit, establishing their residences on the Palatine and eventually constructing an imperial palace atop the hill, symbolizing the transition from republican governance to imperial rule. The Flavian emperors, comprising Vespasian, Titus, and Domitian, ascended to power in 69 CE, following a brief civil conflict. During their reign, they embarked on an ambitious campaign of construction and restoration, which included numerous temples, a stadium, and an odeum, a venue for musical and theatrical performances. Notably, Vespasian initiated the construction of the iconic Colosseum, while Domitian undertook the expansion of the imperial palace on the Palatine Hill and oversaw the erection of various monumental structures, such as the renowned Arch of Titus, commemorating Titus's triumph in Jerusalem. Many of these grand projects were financed through the spoils acquired during the Jewish War, where both Vespasian and Titus served as Roman commanders. The construction of these imposing monuments likely served to bolster the Flavian emperor's image among the Roman populace, portraying them as powerful and prestigious rulers. These monumental edifices not only showcased the wealth and might of the empire, but also reinforced the emperor's authority and legitimacy in the eyes of their subjects. The opulent architectural endeavors undertaken by the Flavian dynasty would have undoubtedly left a lasting impression on the collective psyche of the Roman people, shaping their perception of imperial power and grandeur. During the later imperial period, Roman foreign policy underwent a transformation, emphasizing diplomatic and political influence rather than military conquest. Instead of engaging in direct military campaigns, Rome sought to exert control over bordering territories by means of political manipulation and cultural assimilation. This strategic shift reflected a departure from the earlier expansionist ethos, signaling a more pragmatic approach to maintaining territorial integrity and security. While Augustus implemented significant reforms that reshaped the Roman state's functioning, the majority of ordinary Romans perceived minimal alterations in their day-to-day existence. Augustus's initiatives had limited impact on the social and economic frameworks of society. Despite his ambitious construction endeavors and the expansion of foreign trade, which introduced commodities, information, and diversions to the populace, these transformations essentially amounted to a substitution of traditional patrician benefactors with the emperor. In essence, the emperor assumed the role of patron for all Romans, symbolizing a shift in the dynamics of patronage within Roman society. Do you think leaders should prioritize flashy projects or focus on more fundamental social and economic reforms? Let us know in the comment section below. Also, subscribe and turn on notifications so you don't miss more videos like this and much more. I'll see you in the next video. Take care.